feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no wave.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. Hate the way that you dress. Ride you put it that bitch with the rest. None of we got some shit to address. They gonna hate when you say the word.
Wack's trying to call in with this Gigi girl. Like, I really don't, oh shit. I really don't even care what she got to say, honestly. Like, I feel like I really don't care what she got to say. Like, there's nothing she can add to the Luce story for me. It's like, all right, Luce is a liar. I think we've been hearing that for a while. Let me hear what she got to say. Let me hear what she got to say. I feel like this Luce Cannon story gets so much airplay, right? Or maybe I feed into it too much. Who knows? Let's see.
Yo. Hello.
Hey, you have her on the phone?
Hold on. Right now, hold on. Yo. All right, there you go. I'm on mute.
Hey.
What's up, At?
Hey, this is Gigi, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Wack has told me a lot about you. I feel like I've seen you like in the algorithm so far, especially recently.
Yeah.
You got to put me up to speed, right? Because I'm hearing a lot of. I'm hearing you were married to Luce Cannon or something of the sort.
I'm still currently married to Luce Cannon. I'm his legal wife.
So you got two wives.
He's not married to Charisse.
Does he have kids with both of you?
They're
guys?
Not married.
They have kids.
I'm sorry. He does have he does have a baby with her. She's his baby's mother. They have a child they just had together, and we also have a daughter together. He has 6 kids total.
Oh snap! He has 6 kids between y'all.
Yes. No. 6. He has 4 babies' mothers. He has 3 wives total. That he's been married 3 times. I'm the 3rd wife, and Charisse is the baby mama. He has 2 kids with his first wife, 2 kids with the second one with me, and 1 with Charisse.
All right, let me Google some stuff here. Okay, so all right, so explain to me, how did this all come about? Because if he was married to you, why did he all of a sudden get with her? Like, y'all broke up or something? Because you say you're still married.
Okay, so let's get the quick rundown.
Yeah.
So me and Luce Cannon been together since 2018.
Okay.
So Luce Cannon, he's been wanting to, be famous and, do music and stuff like that.
Okay.
So he wanted to be producer and start like making his own record label. So I came up with IBM, Integrity Before Money. So I got a logo created that for him. And then he started this thing called Cookout. It's a song he made. He paid $2,500 for a little press run. So he had pay some TikTokers to put it up, stuff like that. It didn't take. So then his manager, Rick Aaron, comes up with the idea, I guess, of putting Wack 100's face on Cookout and started to troll him to try to go viral. So they changed the album. They put Wack's head on the grill on the cover, and they start trolling him. Wack's not responding at this point. Wack's going on podcasts and I don't even know this fool. I'm not giving it no attention, yada, yada, yada. So then, at that point, Luce Cannon makes that video that, I don't know if you've seen it, the video of him talking about Wack and talking about you're scared, 6-0, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So when they figure he's not biting or whatever.
Wait, so at this time you're with him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with him. We're together.
Wait, I'm looking at something. I think this is an old picture of him and you. I think so. He has Gigi tatted on his head.
Are you on my YouTube?
No, I'm on streetgangs.com. I don't even know this was a website, but they got a lot of stuff about y'all on there. It said Tremaine Williams' many wives.
There you go. Yeah, that's Alex Alonso. So he was the first one that allowed me a platform when Luce Cannon and Charisse first went public and started making up fabricated stories about me and our child together.
Okay. And so the first thing I wanted to ask is, so is the motivation in this that you want your husband back or what?
Oh, no. So how it started is Cannon started going around denying our daughter. Started talking about she was born in the streets. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know the baby. Sharice started going around with him saying that he was only in the house with me with the baby because he felt sorry for the baby. So once they started smutting my daughter's name all over the internet, that's when I came forward.
Okay.
Because I wanted to clear my child's name. Now, children are off limits. I don't care what's going on between adults, but you don't bring children in it. My daughter's innocent. She has nothing to do with me leaving Luce Cannon. That me filing for divorce, she has nothing to do with it. So when they started doing that, that's when I came up and I started talking about the truth, because they were lying about everything. But my main concern was them lying about my child. But then they started going on tours about, just making up a bunch of stories about Meek Mill and about Nipsey Hussle and Shawnee O'Neal. It was just spiraled out of control at that point. But I had came forward and was warning everybody.
So you know for a fact none of those things are true?
I was with him, of course. I was there. When Nipsey Hussle died, we lived together. On my YouTube, which is I Am Her Gia, I posted all the receipts. Literally, you can see it. I posted everything on there. So you can go see it. I've been dropping episodes with every single receipt, debunking every lie that they have told.
So we've heard that supposedly Luce Cannon is a pathological liar. So you're co-signing it, but you were with him though. Did he lie to you about everything?
No. So it's not. So yeah, he lied. He did lie. Now it's been on a whole different level, because you have to understand. You know how somebody lies about little stuff, like his age. He lies and says he's 35. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. He lied about going to college, having a degree, stuff like that. This is a whole new level. He's not just lying. He's fabricating stories. He owns 30 subways. He owns all these houses. He has 2 Rolls Royces. He's just making up stories. He's never done it to this extent. I don't know what snapped in his mind, or if some mental illness has attacked his mind. I don't know, but this is on a whole nother level. Oh. He's never done it to this extent. This extent is crazy. But I'm assuming because he was given a platform, he connected with Wack. Wack is friends with Molly Mall, and they had Luce Cannon and Molly Mall had a situation. So Luce was trying to get in good with Wack 100 so he could help him, build his fame. He was given platforms to get on, and that's the reason why we're here. He was given a platform. That's the only reason why anybody even knows who he is.
Okay, so
did you know him before that?
No, I didn't know about him before.
I did, yeah.
So
right.
Okay, so after he started denying your daughter, it feels like there's a little bit more retribution that you want to get accomplished, other than just clarifying that no, he is the father of your daughter. Feels like you want this guy. Well,
now it's just about the fact that Sharice keeps going with the narrative. She keeps talking about my daughter, so it's continuous. It's not like it stopped. She just dropped a video not too long ago, now admitting that they're not married. Right after they drugged me all over the internet, lying, making up all these false stories about me and my child. Now she's saying that they're not married, but she's still talking about my child, saying that I need to get a paternity test. We went through IVF.
Wait, why did you guys break up though? What was the reason of you guys not being together anymore?
I had put up with a lot of things that I shouldn't have put up with. A lot of abuse. There was a lot of physical abuse and cheating. And, when you take vows, I'm like, I can't speak for him on his part, but I was serious with my vows, and I stayed a lot longer than I should have. I should have left the first time, the abuse started. But I didn't, I stayed, I put up with it, but you can only take so much. So the abuse had got really bad, and the cheating had got really bad. He had an affair with Black China during the pregnancy, and that's when I said, enough is enough. I've posted all the receipts on my channel too as well. We were just living in the house together because I had just had our daughter. I was recovering from a C-section. So I didn't want to take his daughter from him. So I still remained in the house with him, but was filing for the divorce. I told him I wanted a divorce. He didn't want the divorce. I told him, we got to do this. I'm done. This is it. So when he met Sharice, we were not together. We were living together. We were still married, but I was in the process of filing a divorce.
So why hasn't a divorce been finalized?
Why hasn't it been finalized?
Are you waiting on the judge, or
well, because
he hasn't
signed?
No.
Well, so what happened was Tremaine, when he started denying the baby, I asked him to sign over his parental rights since he wanted nothing to do with the child. I'm okay accepting, You don't want nothing to do with the baby? Cool, that's fine. I'm not into forcing a man to pay for a child that he wants nothing to do with. So I told him it's fine. I'll take full responsibility. Just sign over your rights. He didn't want to do that. So what I had to do, being that behind closed doors, he was still contacting me, communicating with me about about our daughter. He didn't want to sign over his rights. He didn't want to sign the divorce papers. So I just proceeded without him. The only reason why it's not finalized now is because I had to establish residency in Las Vegas because he was avoiding being served. So the divorce is filed in California. He was living in Las Vegas with Sharice. So I had to hire somebody to sit out there to try to find him when I filed the judge to terminate his parental rights. So I actually went to a judge in Vegas, established residency there, and I got his rights terminated. So now I have those papers. The judge signed off on it. Now I have brought those back to California, told California, the divorce court, okay, his rights are terminated. I want to incorporate this into the divorce and finalize it. We had court just in March of this year. But he got picked up by the feds. He's in federal prison. So he moved from where he was when I served him. I didn't know where he was to serve him the papers that that our divorce judge said I have to serve him the papers now that I've incorporated the termination of parental rights, and he moved. So, but now he's in federal prison, so now he can be served the final packet.
Wait, so don't you feel bad that he's locked up? You know, what I mean, he's still a father of your child, right? Like, you know, like, don't you feel like you're kind of kicking his back?
I mean, yeah, absolutely, of course. I mean, but again, he did it to himself. When you sell your soul for fame, money, clout, whatever, that's something you got to deal with God about. Nobody put a gun to Luce Cannon's head. Nobody forced him to get on these platforms and tell on himself or fabricate stories, or he drew the attention to himself. So you can't feel bad for somebody who wanted something so bad that he was willing to do any and everything, including sacrifice his own child. That's on him.
So what's your beef with okay, so you said Sharice just kept like going back and forth with you, or like
no, it's not going back and forth. She just keeps going on about anybody's going to talk about you. I don't care if they talk about me. You can say she's crazy, she's a crazy ex. I'm cool with that. You know, there's an opinion. Opinions like assholes, everybody has one. No problem. It's the lying about me. It's the lying about my child is what I don't respect. So how Wack got involved is it kept going. I know Wack and Cannon were cool. I reached out to Wack. Okay, let's be clear. I reached out to him before I even came out anything with my platform to post the receipts or say anything to this degree. I reached out to Wack and I said, could you please talk to your friend and his woman and tell them to please stop speaking on me and my child with lies. I said, because if they continue to disrespect my child, I am going to expose them both about everything. Wack can confirm that. I sent him some receipts. I told him, look, please. And that was that. She didn't listen.
Why do you, so just kind of even watching this story, obviously, I see people in the chat saying it is messy, 100%.
100%.
Do you think that Wack is using your story to get back at Luce?
So let me explain this. And I don't know if Wack could show you whatever. Wack was actually we kind of got in a little confrontation because he was actually trying to go for bat for Cannon when I originally hit him up about the receipts.
Okay.
So I can't speak for Wack. I don't know him. I've never met him a day in my life. That's the first conversation I ever had with him. And it wasn't even over the phone. That was actually through text messages. Okay. So I've never spoke to Wack. Like, I've never had a conversation. He can verify. I've never met this man a day in my life. I don't know anything about Wack. I just heard of his name, but I don't know him personally. I've never seen him before in person. I've never talked to him. I simply reached out to my, Luce Cannon's friend that I knew that they were together all the time. And I asked him, could he please give this message to Luce Cannon and Sharice? That was it.
Yeah, I'm wondering what else is going to come out. So Luce is locked up. This content from behind bars thing, I don't know if that's going to turn out too favorably.
But why do you think he's doing that? What is your guys', what do you think that he's locked up, right? He's in federal prison. His woman still calls and they're still talking about the indictments, talking about this. So what do you think? Like, I don't see how people don't see the play by now.
I would. I have no idea. The only thing I could think about is that maybe they think he's getting out soon and they want to keep his name in the algorithm, or maybe they're getting paid from it. I have no idea. I really wouldn't. Because
Even you can't even think of a logical reason why that would be in your mind when you're literally facing a RICO charge.
Yeah, this is the very first time I've seen so many people talk during a RICO charge. I'm gonna be honest, but
Thank you.
you know, according to her, she says this is what makes him happy and he wants to do it. So she's obliging.
But as your significant, if you really care about this man, though, why would you allow it? You're supposed to be, you're supposed to be for your man. If your man's gonna go jump off the cliff, are you gonna say, "Oh, he wants to go jump, so let him jump"? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, completely understand, and I agree with you. I'm one. I mean, you don't seem to give a fuck about him either. So it's like, why?
I'm not.
Why
I'm
do
not
you
with
care?
him.
Why
It's
do you
not
care
my
if
job
he's?
to care. It's not my job to care about what he's doing now. That's her place.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm not here to get in their business. He's with her.
Yeah,
Let's
but
make
you
that
are
clear. They're
critical of
together.
what she's doing, though. Like, so you're critical of what she's doing, but it's not like you care either way. It feels like it's just a way to.
Well,
not like
because
her.
that's his choice of who he chose to be with. So, that's who he chose to be with. So I can't judge with his choice. If that's who he chooses to be with, that's his business.
He probably
You know what I
wanted
mean?
to be with
I
you,
don't
but
get
you
it.
left
Their
him.
business.
He
Say that again?
He probably wanted to be with you, but you left his ass.
That's true, because I'm not going to sit there and participate. I'm not going to do what she does. I'm not going to allow my man to sit up there and make up fabricated stories, start snitching on people, and do. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, I'm not. Which is going to land him exactly where he is now. So why would I allow my man to throw himself off a cliff? So that don't make sense. I would never sit there and allow my man to do that.
What was the latest date that you guys were around each other?
Around each other, or communicated?
Well, pretty much like almost in a relationship or living together.
April 8th, 2022.
2022. Okay, so you would have been with him for the Meek Mill stuff. You're saying that's cap, right?
Cap, all lies.
Okay.
He's never wrote for Drake. He doesn't have a song with Drake. The Nipsey Hussle thing is a lie. He didn't have any type of relationship with Nipsey Hussle from 2018 to 2022. What else? What else do you lie about? He doesn't have 2 Rolls Royces. He doesn't have 30 Subways. He doesn't even have a bank account. He owes like $300,000 in child support.
Was he lying about robbing people for Big U?
I don't know. Now, let me clear that up. He's saying he robbed people for Big U. Obviously, if he's had conversations that I'm not privy to with Big U, I can't speak on that. But when I've seen him, the plays that Cannon have done, Big U was not involved in those plays, including the weed dispensary play. Like I said, he was at the weed dispensary before the robbery even happened. He was taking money and weed from the dispensary way before then. I can only vouch for what I've seen. What happened anytime, like when I was not around, I don't know.
Wait, so you're saying he was extorting them before?
Correct. Well, obviously, I wasn't aware that it was extortion. Dale came out and said that. When I seen them two together, Dale was he was acting like they were business partners. So it wasn't extortion to me at the time, because like I said, Dale didn't say, "Hey, I'm working with the Feds and you're taking the money and you're threatening me to take it." I wasn't aware of that part.
If and this is what happens with this content game, and this is why, like, I've even said it to Wack. I'm like, you see, I've seen Luce Cannon one time. I can't say I've been around him or he's told me personally about anything that I'll be the only one privy to. You were
right,
or you are his wife. If you were dating him during this time that he was allegedly robbing weed dispensaries, if the cops or the feds said, "Hey, listen, we want you as a witness to tell us what you know," would you cooperate against your husband?
Yes.
Damn, that's some deep hate. Holy shit. Wait, why? I ain't gonna lie. That threw me.
So
what?
Let me tell you why. Luce Cannon implicated me in one of his robberies and tried to get me locked up. Him and Sharice went to the police.
Wait, hold on.
Uh-huh.
You got to slow it down. Walk me through this, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I never expected to hear this shit. Hold on. How? Wait. How we?
So if you go look up, go on Google, type in 7756 Kingdom Drive, robbery, home invasion robbery. It'll pull up on Google. You'll see it.
7 what?
7756 Kingdom Drive, Riverside, California. Robbery. Go ahead and pull that up.
In 2022. By the way, just has the feds talked to you yet or no?
Which one? You're talking about for that robbery or for this current indictment?
I mean, either one.
I've talked to investigators many times dealing with Cannon, so a lot of investigators have talked to me.
Were you forthcoming with them? I'm just wondering if you're about to say something on the stream.
I had nothing to do with the robbery. I had nothing to do with that home invasion robbery. I was cleared of that.
No, we're not talking about you particularly, but it seems like these things have something to do with him. Were you forthcoming with the police? Because I'm trying to figure out if you're about to say something.
Of course. Okay. I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know at the time. I didn't know anything about the robbery. I found out after, when I was brought into the investigation. When I went to the house, when the police called my mother and said I need to come to the house because people were robbed. It wasn't just the house. There was people in the house that got robbed. If you read what happened, it'll say it in there. People were robbed at gunpoint for the jewelry, cash, blah, blah, blah. So when I got to the house and the police are telling me what's going on, I didn't know at that time there was a current investigation and there was multiple robberies in the neighborhood. I had no clue. So when Luce Cannon and Sharice, when after that happened, when our same house got vandalized and robbed again, Luce Cannon and Sharice went to the police station and told the police I did it.
Really?
So then I got dragged into the investigation.
Okay, so let me read a little bit of this article. Riverside authorities are investigating a home invasion in which a group forced their way into a house and assaulted a resident early morning. It was at 3:40, and they're saying that they assaulted the victim inside before leaving with stolen items. Huh.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And so they believe.
So once I had no choice but to cooperate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to jail for something I had nothing to do with.
So the police only talked to you after Luce Cannon and them blamed you?
Correct.
Why did they just come to you?
Because I was implicated in it. I don't know who else they talked to. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know who else they talked to.
No, I mean, why'd they go to Luce Cannon? Like, was he driving like your car or like why did they?
Oh, you have to ask Luce Cannon. I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know if he was privy to the investigation, if he was involved. I have no clue. Like I said, I got dragged in because of him and Sharice's statement that I was a part of the robbery. I don't know if he was working with that. I have no clue because, again, I wasn't involved.
So wait.
So I don't know what his reason for was bringing my name up. I have no clue.
So you're basically saying, do you think Luce was telling?
You'd have to talk to an investigator. I can give you the detective's name that called me. Now, was Luce working with him? I have no clue because I was a suspect like whatever other suspects they had. So they weren't going to tell me who was snitching. I was being snitched on. They just told me that Luce Cannon and Sharice made a police report that I robbed the house and that there was already an investigation for the robbery you're looking at on Google. So they were asking me questions about the robbery, the robbery, after that first robbery that you're looking at. They asked me about that one and then other ones in the area of houses that got robbed to make sure that I didn't have anything to do with any of them.
Okay, interesting. So
did Luce Cannon know there was a current investigation? I don't know.
Wait, so did they talk to you about this current indictment or no?
Did who talk to me about this current indictment?
The feds or any authorities?
No comment.
So you might be in that trial testifying against him, huh?
Maybe.
Yeah,
he testified against me in court.
When was this?
There's a lot of things people don't know about Luce Cannon. That's on paperwork. Luce and Sharice have done a lot of things, and they got a lot of people fooled out here. But like I said, because, obviously nobody's going to do their research, right? Nobody's going to go and start looking up paperwork and try to see, because, lies sound better than the truth. But they have both done a lot of damage, a lot of things behind closed doors. It's on paperwork. After that robbery, then Luce and Sharice went and Luce testified in court and filed a false restraining order against me, saying that I
think
went
that's snitching?
to...
Like in a street, I know you.
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely. Anytime you and the only reason why it's snitch is because you're what you say, you're a gangbanger, right? Isn't that the code for gangbanging? You don't snitch or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't live that life. I'm not a gangbanger, but I'm just going by what he claims his street code is, which he's been claiming forever since I've met him. So I'm saying that's your street code, right? I'm a civilian. I'm not a gangbanger. I'm not from the streets, but he is. Is that not against his code? Is that not what he's been saying? Like, oh, that's snitching, police stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
So if you're saying that it's okay for him, why wouldn't it be okay for me?
Hey, a random legal fact here, and I'm wondering if this could help. But it seems like you say you would be down to testify because y'all are married. They can't really compel you to testify, right? Because you're legally.
They could not compel me. Correct. They couldn't force me to because of spousal privilege. They couldn't force me to. But I could waive it. I could waive it if I wanted to.
Oh, and you would definitely waive it to send that nigga down the road.
I didn't say definitely. I'm not 100%. So I don't know. But like I said, my whole thing was when I asked them to not speak on me. I don't know. At this point, like I said, it's just got to the point where he's done so much damage to our child. And Sharice continues to do it even though he's locked up. It's just continuous. A mother's only going to take so much. And I don't expect anybody to agree or whatever, but this is my child. She's innocent. And as a mother, I'm going to do any and everything to stick up for a child who can't speak for herself. I'm not about to allow her father or nobody drag her name all over the internet with lies.
How could this possibly get fixed or remediated? Does he got to send you a check? Does he just got to have his woman
absolutely not
stop speaking absolutely on not. You? Like how could because I'm gonna be honest with you, like this is kind of it's kind of like you're raising your hand in class saying, yo, I will help y'all niggas make sure he never comes home. And you're married.
I mean, well, let's just let's just get this clear. Cannon told on himself. I didn't put him on no jumper, and I didn't tell him to tell on his crimes. So nobody can blame me for anything Luce Cannon did. Nobody can blame anybody for anything. Luce Cannon is 42 years old. He is 42. That's a grown man. He makes his own decisions. He chose to get on that platform and tell on his own self and was proud of the crimes he committed. And now you're mad at me because I'm co-signing saying he's telling the truth about that part? He told on his own self. He literally I can bring up 100 interviews where he sat up there proud and everybody was cheering him on when he was talking about his crimes. So now everybody wants to be like, oh my God, you don't lock him up. What, huh? Y'all was just cheering him on when he was talking about him. He was getting 1 million, all these views and all that. So why now when you told on yourself? I didn't put him on no jumper. I didn't put a gun to his head. I didn't tell him to go tell on himself. I wasn't sitting next to him.
Some would think that you're trying to build your platform by taking him down. What do you feel about that?
Build my platform?
Yeah.
By taking it, and how is that going to benefit me any?
Well, it would increase the size of your platform because now we know, like, Luce garnered a lot of attention right before he got locked up. He still is. Wack obviously helped establish his situation, but now since you are a direct representative of, like, you're his wife, you get to kind of take advantage of that and probably get more eyes and ears because I didn't know about you before now. So some might think that you're kicking his back in to build your thing up.
I'm absolutely building my thing up to tell the truth, to debunk every lie that he spoke about our child. Absolutely. And about me. Absolutely. I have every right to defend my name. If somebody is out here lying on you, making up fabricated stories, how am I wrong? Because I created first of all, let's be clear. Before I created my channel, I did street TV. I did Tasha K. I went behind them and whatever platform allowed me to not just even take my word for it, to actually do the research, to allow me to provide proof, to tell the truth, I did that. They kept going with it. So I realized, okay, if they're going to keep going on a tour, I'm going to build my own platform so the truth is out there. The internet is forever. Let's just be clear. The internet is forever. One day, God forbid, somebody at school pulls this up to throw it in my daughter's face, and she sees that her mother never said anything. So you just allowed them to just say all this stuff about me that's not true, and you never spoke up?
Yeah, but likewise, there's one day, it's gonna be one day she's gonna be in class, and it's gonna be, I don't know, a father daughter day, and they're gonna ask where her father is, and then she got to explain why her father is serving 35 years in prison, and that her mom probably helped put him there. And how you gonna explain that to her?
I'll say it again. It's 100 videos showing Luce Cannon telling on himself and proud of his crimes. You guys cannot place blame on anybody but Luce Cannon.
Yeah,
I know that
no, hold on,
like
nobody's doing that, but you're definitely saying you would assist the government in putting him away. That seems like.
I didn't say I would go to them. You asked me if they came to me, would I? And I said I would give him the same courtesy that he gave me.
Which is none.
So what makes what I'm doing any different than what he did?
Okay.
I just am innocent. He's the one who actually did it. He said it on multiple podcasts. So how is what he did any different than what I'm doing? I'm not going to the police. You asked if they came to me. I could have been and went to the police if I wanted to and showed them a plethora of things. I never did that. That wasn't the question. The question was if they came to me. See, unlike him, I'm not going to court and I'm not filing police reports. I'm not giving them any evidence or anything like that. Now, if they came to me and asked me, that's a different story. But he actually went and did these things and filed reports and tried to get me arrested. I didn't do that. So tell me what's the difference between what he did and you asked me. If they asked me, I'm giving him the same courtesy that he gave me. So what makes me the bad guy?
Yeah, I mean,
is it because I'm a woman or what?
I mean, I don't know.
No, not you. I'm just saying in general, in general.
Yeah, well, so what I would say is that obviously I think both are wrong. I think you guys should have somewhat of a familial love and respect, even if that's not on a relationship level, to know that both of your decisions, it shouldn't be tit for tat, because everything is gonna hurt the child, right? Like there's no foreseeable way that a child growing up with her father is gonna help her, and there's no foreseeable way that a child growing up without her mother is gonna help her, or y'all beefing, or y'all throwing dirt against each other publicly. I can't see how that would help. You know. You don't
well, I'm not throwing dirt again. Luce Cannon admitted this. I'm just saying what he said was true, that he came out and said. And let's be clear, I'm not keeping Luce Cannon from his child. I think it's out there enough. Luce Cannon said he wants nothing to do with this child and is claiming it's not his child. So who's hurt who? I'm with my daughter every day. I'm not bringing any harm to her. I've picked up his slack where he left off. I didn't request child support. I didn't request alimony. You guys can go look up the divorce. So you can't say it's about money. I've never contacted him and asked him for money. Sharice cannot provide you with one shred of receipt where I've asked them for a dime. So that narrative killed.
So wait,
it's public record. I never asked for money or anything. Because like I said, if he doesn't want anything to do with the baby, that's cool. So who's hurting the child? I'm not doing anything to hurt her. I've never stopped him. Like I said, you can ask Wack. He can show you the text messages. I'm not the one telling him he can't be a part of her life. He said he doesn't want to. He doesn't know the baby. It's not his baby. That's his choice. I'm not going to force him to. This is a conversation that somebody should be having with him. He's the one who's hurting his child, not me.
So I see. Oh, by the way, X Umber, thank you for the 20. It says, yo, y'all don't fall for this. Wack knew Luce was a snitch, and he brought him into the media. Wack used him for content. Now Wack is using What to clean his tracks. Wack the rat. Whitey Bulger. If Wack gets made, he gets locked. Okay. Do you think that did Wack know that Luce Cannon snitched on you?
You have to ask Wack that. Like I said, I only had one conversation with Wack, and I told you what I said.
So how long have you been notifying everybody?
Oh, how long have I been speaking out?
Yeah, that you got snitched on by.
I've been speaking out against his lying about our child for the past since 20. I think the first time he came on was 2023.
Wait. So do you have paperwork of him telling on you or no? Because Wack always
Yes.
says, "What?
Yes.
Like, where's the work?"
Yeah, I do.
So you got the work.
Yeah, of course. It's on my YouTube.
Really?
Posted it on there.
And it
I
says
posted every
Luce
receipt
Cannon.
on there. It said he sworn in and testified. Sharice publicly said that he wasn't in the courtroom. That's the reason, like I said, every time they lie, I just post the receipt. So a lot of this is only being brought up because they bring it up and they make up stories. So I'm not going to allow them to lie on me or my child. And all I've been doing is dropping receipts showing the clips of them lying. And then I post the receipts, just like the paperwork. When she said he never testified in court for the restraining order, he never was sworn in. And then I posted the receipt. I posted the court report from the court that said Tremaine Ashley Williams sworn in and testifies. That's all I'm doing.
Interesting.
That's it.
By the way, I do believe you. I believe you. I just think
No,
that
I'm not asking anybody to believe me, and that's the reason why I started the YouTube channel, because I didn't want people to just take my word for it.
Well,
if you
it's
go
more
watch
than
any
belief,
episode
though.
that I dropped.
There's like okay, all right, we hear you. All right, forget the word believe, but you're telling the truth. But then there's a lot of scorn with this because I could tell you want this nigga to crash and burn. Like it's
Listen,
not only about letting people know, because to be honest,
I'm hurt for
okay.
Yes.
All right, so you're
I'm not
admitting.
going to sit up here and
Okay.
I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm not hurt. Of course, that's my daughter. We had a child. Are you guys not hearing that? We took vows. Just because he's not a genuine person, just because he's a scam artist, I'm not. When I took vows with that man, I meant those vows. When I brought a child into this world, I don't know what type of parents everybody else has, or whatever. I don't have a whole bunch of children. I have one older daughter. I waited 20 years to bring legacy into this world with Luce Cannon. 20 years. They're 20 years apart. So, of course, I am hurt. I have to look at this little girl every day and see that I failed her because who I chose to have a child by. Of course, I'm hurt. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad that I was a fool. I'm mad that I had a child with somebody who is throwing her away like trash. Of course, I'm hurt. I have to look at this little girl every day. I have to explain to her why my choices are the reason why she doesn't have her father, and explain to her why her father is throwing her away like trash. Of course. Anyone would be crazy to say that you're not hurt.
Suppose if you say Luce is a snitch, imagine when he talks to Fez, he said, "Yo, all them robberies, me and my girl was busting down the money. My girl at the time, Gigi, we were doing it all together." Do you think that you might have any exposure to anything he could be accused of?
No.
So you had no idea he was doing robberies or nothing?
I've already said how, well, Sharice has already kind of put it out there, how I'm privy to the robberies and everything he's done. Like she said in her post that she just posted, I think yesterday. So as I told you, Tremaine doesn't have a bank account. He doesn't have any like credit cards or anything. So he was on all of my iClouds. So why, I guess maybe a ego, Tremaine videoed a lot of his crimes. Why?
Wow.
I do not know. So as Sharice said, she posted this yesterday.
You got the videos of these crimes?
Correct. From the iCloud that we were on. Like Sharice said, he's on her iCloud as well.
Wait,
she literally
you got
posted
these
this
videos
yesterday.
currently?
Correct.
If I'm Luce, man, I'd have just sent a formal apology and kept it moving. Like, what the hell?
That's all can Wack please get on the phone? Because I would like him to please verify what I text him and what I asked him to do before I came forward and said anything. And Wack can confirm how they were dragging my daughter all over the internet, lying. They were even telling Wack, "Oh, I don't know that B. I only knew her for 9 months. I don't know her, this, and that. That baby ain't mine." He said it so many times. Like, and I didn't just, this is not something I just said, "Oh, I'm going to come out with this." I've been begging them to please stop talking about my daughter. Please stop lying about her. I've sent so many smoke signals. I've sent so many, like, please, please, please stop doing this. Even after he snitched on me, after he took me in the indictment, I still didn't bring up any of this. But when they keep going and you're talking about my child, and man, a mother can only take so much.
Has the feds or any investigator like subpoenaed or asked for this footage yet?
No.
Are you offering this footage up?
No.
But if they want to get it, they could get it. Clearly, you've admitted that it exists, so.
Yeah. Listen, I think everybody read the indictment. He was under investigation since 2021. Or did everybody miss that part? I don't think there's anything that I have that they don't already have.
So, did you profit anything, or like, you ever wonder, like, this nigga don't got a job, how he always got money? Did you profit from any of the crimes?
No,
that you're
so
talking
I knew.
about?
So no. So I knew he was in the. We lived in California. Weed dispensaries were not. There was weed dispensaries everywhere, so it didn't look like he was robbing or setting up robberies or anything like that. How would I know that? He was literally in weed dispensaries. It's not illegal to own or have or partner with weed dispensaries.
Mm.
And as you can see, Cannon is very, very good at what he does. You guys are all believing, not you per se, but, half the world was believing every word out of his mouth, even though he contradicted himself multiple times. He's very good at his manipulation and lies. And there's people like his little IBM gang who participate in perpetuating and making the lies look like it's real.
Hey,
and you know what I mean? So
did you ever hear him on the phone with like Big U or nothing like that?
Yeah, he had a relationship with Big U, not to the extent that he's saying, though. He wasn't his enforcer or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? He would call Big U like whenever, because Cannon, it was always, acting bigger than what he was. So he would call Big U like if he got into a bind, he got into it with some niggas and he needed Big U to like calm it down, or he'd call him to borrow money, stuff like that. But from our 2018 to 2022, Big U maybe came to our house maybe like 3 times out of all those years.
Did you see them bust down the money that they got from the robbery?
No. I never seen that.
Man.
I never seen Big U in any of the videos at the dispensary. No, it was just Cannon by himself. So, like I said, I'm not going to speak on something that I don't know. I can only go by what I've seen, and I've never seen that.
After he did all these robberies, did he come and pillow talk to you like, yo, I'm not going to lie, I just robbed these niggas?
I only seen him when he never, like I said, he never told me that he was out robbing people or anything like that. He never told me that.
So wait, these videos, like, what do you mean you have videos of the crime? Like he's like selfie videoing himself, like robbing people? Like, come on, that sounds crazy. Like, that don't even sound real.
No, not robbing people. I mean, like, they're videos of, stuff that he's done, stuff that he's been involved in, plays that he's done.
Like shootings and shit. Don't answer that one.
I can't say if he. Don't answer that one. I can't say. I can't. Again, I didn't take the videos, so I can't explain exactly what's happening in them. You'd have to ask him. So I don't know which one of his stories that he's already made public goes
has
with
Wack
which
seen
video.
these
I only know
videos?
a couple of them.
Has Wack seen these videos?
No, not the ones I'm in questioning. I sent Wack, when I asked him to have them stop speaking about me, I sent Wack a couple of receipts to show that I have, that I will come forward publicly and express everything that he's done, that he's made public on podcast. And so, but he doesn't have nearly nothing close to what I have. I sent him, I think, maybe like 3 things.
Man,
I sent it to him and to his IBM friend as well. Wack wasn't the only one. I sent it to both of his close friends.
Oh, so you gave him the intro, but you didn't give him the full joint. Wait, like the videos that Wack seen, are those like proof for robberies and shit like that?
Yeah, I would say it's proof enough.
Damn.
It's proof enough to show that what he was publicly going around saying about his crimes were true.
Damn. So wait,
put it that way.
This is the confusing part. I'm hearing Luce is a liar, but I'm hearing he was telling the truth about all the crimes. like was he lying about everything?
That's what I didn't understand, and that's the part I still to this day cannot tell you why he did that. I do not know why Luce made up stories about everything else,
but the crimes.
But then talks about all his crimes. I didn't understand that.
So you said the only thing he ever told the truth about was the criminal shit he did, but he lied about it knowing everybody.
Yes, I didn't understand that. He could have just kept with the fabricated stories. Why he told on his crimes, I don't know.
Did you ever pull him aside and be like, baby, like, could you at least lie about the crimes too? Or did you like, yo, baby, I seen some shit on the iCloud, like, damn it.
No. He started this. He was doing this with Sharice. Oh, don't get it twisted now. This lie started with Sharice. I wasn't with him when he was doing the No Jumper and going on that world tour and all that stuff. I wasn't with him. That's the girl sitting next to him is Sharice, not me.
How do we get you and Sharice to have a civil conversation? I think that's what we got to do.
I've tried to have a civil conversation with her. Ask Wack, because they were on his platform.
You want me to
I've
put her on
talked
the
to
line?
Sharice.
I'll put her on
I've
the line
talked to
right
her
now.
mother.
You want to put her on the line?
No, I'm saying you can personally ask him. I'm not saying he has to be on. I'm just saying,
No,
like,
I get her on the line right now. Hold up. I get Sharice.
Wack.
We get Sharice on here. We got to come to some type of conclusion. This is getting out of hand. Where is that? Luce Cannon's. I see. I got her name even saved. Luce Cannon's wife. I got to put fake wife now, right? Since that's not a wife, right?
No, you don't have to put fake wife.
Or
It's
fourth
just that
wife.
I'm his legal
She's the
wife.
fourth wife.
It's just legal, but they're together. They're in a relationship. All that good stuff. That's never been like a question. It's just the lying about I'm crazy. He doesn't know me, and it's not his child.
Oh, I should just put sister wife type shit.
Boy, you
hold
better
on.
stop.
Hold on. Hold on. Now I gotta get. No, this is gonna be good. I gotta get this fuckery. I'm sorry, chat. Like I was about to fall asleep, but I seen this bullshit. I'm like, yo, let's click it on. No, I gotta do it. Sharice, answer, bro. We need this content. I ain't gonna lie. Sharice! I gotta get to the bottom of this fucker. Okay, damn, she not gonna answer. Sharice's phone only work when Luce is on the line. I ain't gonna cap with you.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach.
Okay. All right, yeah, I think she's like busy or something like that. So wait, you've never talked to her? Like, why don't you have like a woman to woman type?
I have talked to her.
Yeah.
I have.
Because your kid and her kid are half siblings. You know, right?
Correct. I have spoken to her.
You know,
I've
at some
talked to
point
her.
they gotta
I've
have a
talked to her
play
mother.
date. They gotta have a play date. Come on now.
Again, it's not on my end. Sharice continues with the lying and the talking about my child. That's what you guys aren't getting. It's all recorded on Clubhouse that she went on lying. I've tried to have an amicable conversation with her. I've tried to tell her, look, stop just lying. It's all recorded. I've tried. This is not somebody that she's going around telling everybody Luce only has 3 children. He has 6. She wants to, not acknowledge his children, his 2 older sons, and act like they're trash.
I thought you only had 1 with him.
As a mother, no, I only have 1. He has 6 total. He has 2 adult children.
Yeah.
2 adult boys. He has 2 boys that are, I think, 11 and 12, and then he has my daughter, and then Sharice's son.
All right, so. How did I hit this? Oh, my bad. Wait. What the hell is happening to my phone? Hello? I just got like a new update. This shit is like fucked. Hold on. Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm trying to get to the shit for y'all. Don't you worry. Hold on. Why is it on hold? How did I get it off hold? Fuck. I gotta call back. Hold on, my bad. I don't know how I just fucked it up right there. Now this is crazy. All right. Chat, if I can't set up the call, I gotta set up the squabble, right? Like, bro, something gotta give, right? Chat, if I can't set up the talk, I gotta set up the squabble. Hold on. I'm calling Wack. Yeah, the iOS update was fucking me over. Wack, answer. Wack connected the call, so Wack is on the call. He just was muted up. He probably laid up with I don't have Gigi's number.
Please leave.
Fuck. I need Wack to call me back. Let me call Wack again. Wack's the connector between the Gigi person. I believe her. Like a lot of things with like Luce and Sharice, I don't really care if they were lying, honestly. To me, it was just content. I just wanted to hear somebody say, "Sweetie!" That's just funny to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, oh fuck, I accidentally hung. I didn't hang up. I accidentally tried to add someone to the call, and then it clicked me over to the other person's thing, and I couldn't swap back. I need Wack to call back. Oh, I know why. Oh shit, I know why Wack can't answer. That's a different number. Now we gonna answer. Yeah. Yeah, that's why he's not answering. He don't know that number. Okay, he watch. He gonna answer. Speaker. I know Wack don't go to sleep. Yo, I think Wack stays up and plots on all his ops. Like, Wack's the worst thing to be. Wack.
Please leave your message.
Maybe he is sleeping. I know he ain't fall asleep. Let me call him one more time. I think Wack stays up and plots plays on how to line up all his ops. Like you got to see this tomorrow coming. Wack says, yo, Act, don't platform Sharice and them no more. But I got Sharice's biggest op. Platform her. Like, yo, Wack is devious, bro. Yo, beefing with Wack has got to be bad for your health, bro. Beefing with Wack 100 got to be bad for your health. I believe that young woman is telling the truth, right? I think she's telling the truth. The only thing that was just shocking to me, yo, she's a little bit hurt and she got a lot of scorn to that nigga. She's like, fuck him. You could tell she's like, she wouldn't care if that nigga get the death penalty if he got the needle. Looked like she just wanted to make an announcement like, yo, I got it in my possession. If y'all niggas want to go indict this nigga, I got the videos of him doing the robberies. Oh my God. It's like no way the feds ain't gonna go ask her for the videos now. Like, what the fuck? This is like a call that should happen on No Jumper. That's a fact. This should have happened on No Jumper, not my platform. All right. I'm where the hell is Wack? Wack is around. If we can't set up the conversation, we got to set up the squabble. Something got to give. It's easy. I don't have your number or anything like that. Let me call Wack one more time. Yeah, look like Gigi about to put that nigga in a superseding indictment, but I'm going to cap with you, right? Fuck. I don't know. Yeah, Wack's sleeping or something, bro. He'll call me back. Nigga, she dropped the exact address. She's like, yo, just go look this up. Damn, is Luce Cannon charged for this? No, this is crazy. Oh my God. Huh. I ain't gonna lie. Some of the stuff I was asking, I was kind of trolling, but she was on it. I was like, you don't got to work. No, I got to work. What? She got to work. So Luce is a snitch? I don't even know where to go from here, chat. This feels like an unfinished episode. I gotta finish it. We gotta finish this shit. Hit me back. Call me back. Yeah, Wack been trying to get her on here for like 2-3 days. Yo, when you cross Wack, Wack will bring on your wife to announce that she got evidence of you doing a crime? Yo, this is crazy. Yo, what the fuck did Sharice do? Yo, Sharice, apologize to Wack. Please just do it. You too, Luce. Whatever you got going, just apologize to Wack. The nigga got your wife on here. Somebody said she got the iCloud, nigga. That's more than the work.